Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. We'll begin with our top stories. Peace crusaders, social and political analysts say Cameroonians are far from enjoying the so-called peace, with factors like economic hardship, corruption, hate speech, and a lot more, which they see as a constant threat to peace of Cameroonians. The problem is more crucial in the crisis grip northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. How the reactions of political analysts and civil society critics. And the number of students blocked outside school gates for late coming is alarming. Trapped in between traffic jams, morning chores, and a lot more. They give varied reasons that blocks them outside school gates at around 7:30 a.m. And contractors in charge of projects in the center, south, and east regions have been urged to hasten up with work so as to meet the December 2023 deadline and permit easy circulation. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. Driving in the city of Douala has been described as a nightmare by our commuters, especially as a result of the constant traffic jams in all hours of the day. Traffic congestion is real as vehicles queue up for several hours before arriving to their different or various destinations, a situation which slows down activities as students are journalists on internship. Aisha Tao tells us more.
This is a routine phenomenon in Douala. Traffic jam, especially during rush hours, along this stretch of road between the village neighborhood and Yassa in the Douala 3 subdivision. It has been 30 minutes that there is traffic. There is no way to even shake.
People have to walk, but now people are blocked, at times for 2 hours, at times even for 3 hours, to leave Bonadis to Yassa. So the situation is terrible. A situation which, according to users, slows down activities, especially as Douala is the epicenter of economic activities. This situation is terrible and it is unbearable because it is slowing down economic activities in this part of the town. Some fear of losing their jobs as they arrive late due to traffic. Aucune voiture n'a bougé. In this type of situation, you don't even know if you risk to lose your job, because if you were to start at 8, you leave your house at 6:30, and at 8 you are still at the same place. I don't know, because normally the road rehabilitation was going on one way, but now the 2 ways are being repaired at the same time. We are blocked. Passengers and those living along this stretch of road say the situation is unbearable. We don't have roads. They do everything to make the population suffer. This is not a life. I am here for about 1 hour 30 minutes, all the day to leave Bonaberi to here. De Bonaberi jusqu'ici. The situation weeks now. Maybe it is the work going on, but I don't think it's me about it. I don't really know what's going on. Even in no way, it is the same situation every morning. The situation at the east entrance into the city of Douala has worsened with ongoing rehabilitation works.
The population of some neighborhoods in the city of Douala have expressed worries over the absence of street lights, which you see promotes insecurity. They complain it hampers the activities in the night and have called on the powers of that be to step in and rescue them. More with our reporter Gladys Ambo Diba.
Cameroon was once a peaceful nation envied by other states, but today, hate speech, phobia, and crises on 3 fronts in the country have This is how some streets in Cameroon's economic city Douala remains dark when night falls. Bepanda, Gramolin, Dokoti, right up to Pekacatos. Pedestrians are able to walk thanks to lights from the vehicles. Street lights have been absent for several months. They are either defective or inexistent. The population says this breeds insecurity. As you must have noted, you can walk through the streets in the night thanks to lights from the vehicles. From the government primary school to the 7th police district, right down to city, there are no street lights. It's dangerous because it promotes insecurity. People are easily attacked. At a certain hour, you feel reluctant to go out for a stroll because the streets are dark. The neighborhoods are dark. I can say from Dokoti to Pekacatos, there are no street lights. We have been living in these conditions for several years. Apart from constant attacks and thefts, the population laments the darkness in the streets, impedes on their businesses. It hampers business growth, disturbs circulation and even the well-being of the population. It breeds insecurity and many shops are forced to close by 11 p.m. When it's nightfall, inhabitants are obliged to double their steps for fear of being attacked in the dark streets. We have realized that certain neighborhoods are favored and others abandoned as though there is no development. And these will always breed insecurity. Even thieves will love such places. The population has called on the powers that be to step in and rescue them from the hands of hoodlums who are comfortable with the present circumstance.
And Cameroon joins the rest of the world this September 21 to celebrate World Peace Day, peace which they say they are yet to enjoy following the numerous crises and hate speech that hamper peace developments. Gladys Ambodiban sought to know from some Cameroonians if they had peace in their country. Cameroon, her story.
Cameroon was once a peaceful nation envied by other states, but today, hate speech, phobia, and crises on 3 fronts in the country have contributed to lack of peace, according to the population.
If you look all over the country, you discover that peace is absent. When we take the northern regions, you discover that there's the issue of Boko Haram. If you go to the east, you discover that the crisis in the Central African Republic has ripple effect there. Go to the south of Cameroon, you see the issue of phobia, hate speech, that is affecting other communities that are living in that area. Then you come to the center and the littoral, you discover that the issue of insecurity is skyrocketing. No need to talk about the restive Anglophone regions, where from 2016 they have not seen peace.
Sincerely speaking, there is no peace in Cameroon. We have lack of friendship, lack of harmony, there is lack of social friendship. So we cannot be talking about peace in Cameroon.
They believe government is taking its time to resolve some of the issues that promote chaos.
Government is always thinking that time will solve a problem. You realize that from 2016, the government of that time will resolve the Anglophone crisis. Yet, up till now, it's getting to 7 years. Nothing has been said.
They nonetheless believe honesty is one of the solutions for peace and social cohesion to reign in Cameroon.
Honesty is lacking, on the part of the state. If the state is very honest to admit that there are problems, to admit that peace is absent, that will be the beginning of to peace to return, for Cameroon to gain what she used to enjoy.
However, peace remains a deep-rooted commitment to the principles of liberty, justice, equality, which are greatly lacking in today's society.
Peace crusaders, social and political observers say Cameroonians are far from enjoying the so-called peace, with factors like economic hardship, corruption, hate speech, and a lot more are seen as a constant threat to the peace of Cameroonians. Let's watch.
Peace is not what is being forced on people. Peace is what how you feel in an environment where there are no problems. And when I talk about problems, it might not be physical problems, it might not be like war or conflict, but poverty can make you not have peace.
From their definition and analysis on the ground, considering the present context where the Northwest and Southwest regions are gripped by crisis, not leaving out Boko Haram attacks in the far north region that has caused many to flee their conflict zones. Peace in this context remains far-fetched. Peace crusaders and social political observers have cried out.
We cannot be talking of peace when people are being killed every day and having that state of fear. Everybody's in a state of fear. So I don't think that there is peace, not only in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, but in Cameroon as a large.
For years now, many people have been killed. Many children have lost their possibilities of going to school. Many villages have been burned. Many health facilities have been burnt. Many people have been forced to leave their comfort zone to go to safer regions. So because of all that, we can't say that we are at peace, not at all.
Factors that impede peace like growing unemployment, corruption, hate speech, xenophobia, high cost of living, all this boils down to poverty and economic hardship, thus making life unbearable for Cameroonians.
You have many youths who are unemployed. Even those who are employed, the salary is very minimal, and then the society is dirty, there's corruption, there's embezzlement. I don't think that an average Cameroonian should be happy.
The increasing prices of food in the market, all these indications, the inflation.
Social, political, and peace crusaders hold governments accountable to these problems, which they only could solve, so Cameroonians have a change of status and enjoy peace.
There are many things that contribute to bring peace in a nation. One, are the people comfortable with their living standard? Is the environment good enough? Are people receptive? Are people polite? You see, there are a lot of things that it's only when you move out of this country and come back that you know that generally Cameroonians, they are not happy people and they are not in peace, even with themselves and their community.
Women's International League and Freedom have sent a clarion call to the youth to rise up and contribute in peace building process, especially at this moment when Cameroon is going through many challenges. The women were out this Thursday, September 21, to sensitize peoples in our schools on the role they play and the process of Cameroon as Cameroon joins the rest of the world today to commemorate World Peace Day. More in the following story.
While equipped with peace plants and handkerchiefs in their hands, they chant songs to promote peace and cast out violence. The peoples have been drilled on the primordial role they should play in fostering peace, tolerance, and friendship as they stand out as the future generation of the country. A spirit which the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom is out to inculcate in the young people this day.
Peace culture, especially in schools and in the little ones, so that they can grow with it, they nurture it and mature it, and they'll be able to live with it and become ambassadors of peace wherever they are.
The peoples, in all enthusiasm, showed how equipped they were by giving tips on how to preserve peace.
Ça fait d'abord une joie énorme.
It brings enormous joy because if from a tender age the children are sensitized on peace, we are sure that when they will be big, they will be the best agents to promote peace.
The Women's International League for Peace and Freedom believe that the 1 week Women Call for Peace will go a long way to give the children best of knowledge to bring positive change in peace-related issues. An initiative highly welcomed by the peoples as they celebrated the International Peace Day this September 21 in a grand style.
The board chair of the electoral boards of elections, Cameroon, Eno Abrahams Egbe, has urged members to multiply efforts and better the electoral process and democracy in the country. He was speaking this Thursday while opening the third ordinary session of the board aimed at reviewing the successes and challenges of voters' registration process, which ended on August 31. More on the story with our reporter, Hisencha.
Deliberations of the third ordinary session of the Electoral Board for the year 2023 centered especially on the quarterly performances review, which entails, among others,
the activity report from July to September, an appraisal on the midterm execution of our 2023 budget, as well as the progress report on the execution of the special appropriation of the Electoral Board, alongside the official launching of regional permanent consultation platforms between the LECAM and other stakeholders of the electoral process.
And opening the session this September 21st, the board chair, Eno Abrahams Egbe, reiterated the goal of the exercise to the electoral board members.
As you well know, the objective of this exercise is to enable us to review our roadmap in order to make informed decisions for better performances of our institutions and the democratic process as a whole.
The meeting equally had as objective to review the challenges of the voters' registration process, which ended on August 31st, with a total of 7,523,184 voters in the electoral list, making an increase of 8.79% compared to 2022.
Contractors in charge of projects in the Central, South and East regions have been urged to hasten up with work so as to meet the December 2023 deadline and permit easy circulation in those areas. The call was made during day 3 of the nationwide review of road projects, which continued today, September 21, in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. Failure to catch up with the deadline, they are told their contracts will be terminated. More with a reporter, Chelsea Akuon. Her story.
Construction work in the South network seemed to be on an evolving pace. The companies in charge of projects in these regions scanned one after the other as they present how far they have gone, their obstacles, and the measures they are putting in place to be in the good books. The 45-kilometer Akokan Baturi Road axis shows progress level at 88.93%. With work almost completed, the company is tasked to get everything done before December 2023 or face sanctions. Same in charge of the Mbama to Mesamena Road in the East region. Related projects include the construction of the weighing station, the rehabilitation of the bridge over the Kadei, the construction of boreholes, market sheds, and fences for neighboring schools. On the course of the review, it was revealed that the earth road linking Gombo and Yokaduma are to begin with immediate effect. This because the section of the road presents significant damage with visible potholes. The company, however, pledged to get to work immediately. While the Bigambo Grand Zambi Road is scheduled to start in December 2023, the Betwa Garwabulai Road axis has crossed the threshold of its survival capacity, and this needs urgent intervention. The completion of the said works will thus facilitate the mobility of users of these areas and neighboring countries and improve on the general well-being of the local population.
And that report brings us to the end of this edition of the Prime Time Newscast in the English language on Canal International. Thanks so much for watching. We're coming up next is The Brief with Monique Nausi. As for me, I'll be back same time tomorrow. Good night.